In the news tonight, dozens of new cancer patients treated at the Queen Elisabeth Hospital every month. Renewable energy-powered vehicles having no impact on gas sales so far. Hundreds of children to converge at the National Botanical Gardens tomorrow for Junior Kadooment. And in sports, a cricket legend calls for the resignation of the CWI president.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening, I'm Lisa Broom. Thank you so much for tuning in. In our top story tonight, doctors at the Queen Elisabeth Hospital are treating close to 50 new cancer patients every month. This as the tertiary health care facility reduces the waiting period for newly diagnosed patients to be seen by specialists from 140 days to 2 weeks. Consultant radiation oncologist Dr. Lalitha Sripathi gave the statistics during a press conference this morning.
We have also increased the number of new cancer patients that we see every week, every month. We almost doubled the number. The number used to be somewhere around 24, 25. Now it is close to 50. So we doubled the number of new cancer patients that we see every month. Likewise, the number of regular or follow-up cancer patients which we see every month is almost around 700, and we give chemotherapy, hormone therapy, immunotherapy, targeted therapy, palliative care, and we are working towards improving the number of patients receiving chemotherapy as well.
Senior radiation therapist Ian Withers says after looking at his various waiting lists, efforts were made to increase the cancer patients treated on a monthly basis. He says this is due to the commitment of the staff of the oncology department, some of whom have seen their relatives coming to the department as patients.
Dr. Sripathi mentioned 700, but we are trending towards 800 patients a month, which is up significantly, another 200 visits from around 600 that we would have seen. And of course, we mentioned the fact that we are seeing around 13 new patients each week. That pushes the staff towards almost sometimes doing extended hours, that we're there from early in the morning and pressing on till 5 in the afternoon in order to get through these new patient consultations. Oftentimes, the work and the involved and intense work of the oncology staff in a small department is not seen.
Well, during the media conference, we also learned that the highly anticipated linear accelerator cancer treatment machine will be operational at the Queen Elisabeth Hospital by September. The QEH is in the final stages of preparing the site for installation of the machine, which helps specialists treat cancers of the brain, spine, head and neck, lung, breast, stomach and prostate, among others. The announcement came from Chief Executive Officer Neil Clark, who says when operational by September, the state-of-the-art cancer treatment machine will significantly expand the hospital's capacity to deliver high-quality cancer care locally. Mr. Clark apologized for the delay in getting the accelerator, which arrived on the island last week, up and running.
Structural and remedial works required to house and operate the machine have also taken longer than anticipated. These works are complex and involve specialised engineering and different subcontractors to ensure compliance with international safety and performance standards for radiotherapy equipment. We recognise the impact these delays have had, particularly for patients awaiting treatment, and I want to assure you that this is not as a result of inaction or neglect, but of the need to ensure that all the preparatory steps are done thoroughly, safely and in line with best practice.
Medical physicist and linear accelerator project coordinator Corey Drakes says there are several installations and configurations that have to take place before doctors can start using the machine.
The major one being in the middle of August. That's the installation of the actual linear accelerator. But then we have to accept the system because we purchase a system with so many different features. We have to accept it and ensure that we purchase what we got and it's actually fit for clinical use. And then there's the commissioning verification that has to be done before we can subject any patient to radiation. We're going to get some support from Washington University physicists to assist with this verification testing. So that will be our external consultants coming in to assist us. And then we also are expecting visits from the International Atomic Energy Agency. They're sending 2 experts just to audit the transition to ensure that it's done in alignment with best practices and the international standards.
Barbados' efforts to transition to a green economy is one of the driving forces behind an increase in renewable energy-powered vehicles on the island's roads. But that has not had an effect on the sale of petroleum products, and it is impacting on the many service stations around the island. Trevor Thorpe took to the streets to find out.
Station manager Rubus Wildy says the petroleum industry is holding its own and keeping its head above the water. And while acknowledging the increase of vehicles that use renewable energy on the roads, he hasn't noticed an impact on the sale on gas just yet.
Hybrids and EVs, the sales are growing, yes, but they've not yet reached the scale in Barbados where there's a negative impact on the petroleum industry, not so far as I can see so far. The EVs, of course, the hybrids, of course, still use petroleum anyway, so they use gasoline. The majority of them are gasoline. There are some diesel hybrids as well. So they're still using, though not as much as an internal combustion engine vehicle. In time, I'm sure that the hybrids and EVs will grow to a larger percentage of the market, and then there will be some impact on the petroleum sales.
Over at Sol Oyston's Christchurch, station manager Carlton Prout expresses similar sentiments.
I have noticed a few more of the hybrids than of the full EVs, but it's not a significant amount at present. Couldn't give a percentage because really we haven't been checking it from that point of view, but an observation would suggest that there are some changes, but at present with me and my station, it's not been significant.
Mr. Prout also observed that the behaviour of motorists has changed somewhat over the years.
There are significant changes taking place as stations grow and become larger in their catchment areas. Barbadians aren't driving around looking for petrol anymore like we used to do a few years ago. You pull in at your station and you get it filled up, or partial fill up, whatever is comfortable for you.
Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Hundreds of children will converge at the National Botanical Gardens for Junior Kadooment 2025 tomorrow. 30 bands have registered for the National Cultural Foundation produced event, which will feature children parading in colorful costumes. Today, technical crews and officials were at the gardens, setting up stages and putting logistics in place to ensure everything is ready for the little ones. And workers at band houses were just as busy adding the final touches to costumes and distributing packages. Band leader of Catastrophic Productions, Charles Miller, spoke to CBC News about his state of readiness.
Kiddies going so-so, but we get there probably looking at 60, 70 people. And be thankful. Looking a little better because last year it was the first time, but now it's second year, gradually get into it. And then you got people accustomed to working in band houses, learning now. So, but next year now, they're even better. The very first 2 people came from walking past. Not even from the district, but people that walk into the district going about other businesses.
Artists from the Caribbean are among the visiting delegations showcasing the best of their art for the upcoming CariFesta 15 festival. This was revealed by visual arts exhibition curator Janice Whittle. She says this ties in perfectly with the theme Caribbean Roots Global Excellence. Ms. Whittle was a guest on Morning Barbados.
Locally, they select, say, the 5 best, and then pass those on to us because there's a limit of space. Because some of the locations that we would normally have had are no longer available to us because as various activities have grown. So they select, they send on their 5 from each country or whatever, and then we do a selection as well. And it really, that I'd first seen in Trinidad, in Suriname, and Guyana, and it was so exciting. to have all of this work in one spot as opposed to discrete exhibitions of wherever.
Coming up on Newsnight, 5 charities to benefit from $135,000 from Shafet. 5 charities will benefit from the $135,000 collected from the Shafet Fund Run 2025. Word of this from Managing Director of Shafet Restaurants, Ryan Halout, as he delivered remarks at the presentation ceremony at their corporate office in Lears, St. Michael. Mr. Halout recalled his experiences with the late philanthropist, Olga Lopseal, sharing advice she gave to him.
Just focus on giving as much as you can. It doesn't mean money. It could be money, it could be prayers, it could be your time, just your thoughts, just encouraging others to come out with you and give their time, and the combination thereof, the need will always be greater. So even though the numbers keep going up, and this year be 135,000 Barbados, which is huge, and it matches our greatest ever, or highest ever, we still need to keep pushing and show the love. Like, love will always conquer, and spread it out there.
Public Relations Officer of the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust, Billie June Langdon, gave the thumbs up to the initiative and said the funds will assist with their back-to-school program.
We had about 24 children who have done the 11 plus this year, gaining entrances into several schools: Graydon Sealy, St. Leonard's Boys, Parkinson, the St. Michael School, Harrison College, and I don't know if I should say the Common Mare School. I don't know if there are any Common Marians in here. You know, good luck to that child.
Well, the YWCA Breakfast Club is among the charities to benefit from the initiative, and President Carolyn Hardin thanked all concerned for their help.
It's very heartwarming to see the love which is extended to us from the team at Shafet. Once again, I say a very special thank you on behalf of the President, the Board of Management, the teachers at the schools as well, because I'm in contact with the teachers and they are quite satisfied with us, and they say that, you know, the breakfast that we provide is a great help to them.
The Barbados Police Service is seeking the public's assistance in locating Riviere Ishmael Straker, who is wanted for questioning in connection with serious criminal matters. 36-year-old Straker, whose last known address is Lightfoot Lane, St. Michael, is approximately 5 feet 8 inches in height, slimly built, and is of a light complexion. Riviere Straker is advised that he can present himself to the District A police station at Station Hill, St. Michael, accompanied by an attorney at law of his choice. Anyone who may know the whereabouts of Riviere Ishmael Straker is asked to contact the District A police station at telephone numbers 430-7246, police emergency at 211, Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477, or the nearest police station. Members of the public are also reminded that it is a serious offense to harbor or assist wanted persons, and anyone caught committing this offense can be prosecuted. A local entertainer is urging all Barbadians and those in the wider region to embrace what makes the region unique. Singer and songwriter Basil Yard is back after a hiatus, and this year has a song titled West Indian as part of the 2025 Cropover lineup. He says it's somewhat of an anthem and a message song. The singer was speaking as a guest on Morning Barbados.
Being a Barbadian, I know we have a tendency to look outside. We're always looking at what others are doing, but I do think we miss the value of what we bring as a nation.
Right.
And we are a nation, one part of many other small nations who all have greatness within them, but we don't really grasp it and showcase it to the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. The world sees it from some of our individuals from time to time, the Usain Bolts, the Rihannas, and so forth. But we're still always looking at the world instead of looking at ourselves and appreciating who we truly are.
Mr. Yard says the region has a freeness and friendliness about it that the world sees and wants to be part of. He stresses that those characteristics should be embraced more across the region.
There's a thing going on, what that happens during Carnival, I don't think we actually understand or appreciate. There are people in the world who don't have the freedom, and I purposely use that word freedom, to embrace, to give it all up, to forget about work, to forget about the bills, even for a day, and just enjoy life. We have that here. There's nothing sweeter than we. You understand what I'm saying?
West Indians.
We as West Indians.
Sports Night is brought to you by Power In. Pause is power. And by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after.
Sports time now. We head over to the sports studio. Mark Seal is standing by with the details. Good evening, Mark.
Very good evening. Starting with cricket, West Indies legend Sir Andy Roberts has issued a bold call for the resignation of Cricket West Indies President Dr. Kishore Shallow and other key officials, citing a grave crisis that threatens the future of regional cricket. Speaking on Observer Radio in Antigua, he passionately criticized the current administration for failing to address what he describes as serious problems within the sport. Sir Andy noted that head coach Darren Sammy has been granted excessive authority as both coach and selector, which he believes is detrimental to the sport.
The director of cricket should walk, the president should walk, the coach should walk first and foremost. I don't see that you have one person who has all that amount of power to dictate the fortune of 5 million people. One person.
The president said last night that...
I don't even want to go back on what the president said.
People are calling for Darren Sammy, said, because he's a St. Lucian. Do you agree with that statement?
I think, and I'm going to say that to Shallow, he needs to apologize to the Caribbean people for making that statement, because Bajans gave Viv a terrible time when he was captain. They gave Richie a terrible time when he was captain, but they never said it out that he's Antiguan.
Convenience store owners are under pressure. Word of this from station manager at Saul Oyston's convenience store, Carlton Prout. He tells the Business Report they have shortened their opening hours since the pandemic and have not gone back to a 24-hour operation.
I think it is driven a lot by persons' needs, what money they have, and also a little bit by today's fear of nighttime crime. As we have a little bit of that. What I do notice is that there's a verbal hostility, which is at a level that we never really experienced before. Staff are constantly being threatened and abused, and that is a big factor of consideration.
At the Rubis Wilde convenience store, things are much different, and manager Keith Yard says theirs is an all-round facility.
We have a convenience store along with the forecourt. We also sell LPG, and of course we have our deli. For those who know, Rubis Wilde is associated with deli, especially this season, crop over season, when you go partying, when you go cruising, and you come in at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. On weekends, so far, we are open to give you something to eat, to keep fueling your need to be on your feet all day.
Sports Night is brought to you by Power In. Pause is power. And by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after.
Well, Mark is back with a packed second half, so I won't take up any more of your time. Over to you, Mark.
Thank you very much. For the first time in the history of the Cigar Field Sobers International Under-19 Cricket Tournament, the title is heading to American shores. Playing in the final at Keynes de Novo last evening, New York Tri-State Development Team defeated defending champions Hills Academy of Australia by 5 wickets. Hills Academy were invited to take first knock and were held to 157 for 8. CBC's Anne-Marie Burke takes a look at that innings.
After weeks of play, it came down to these two teams. Defending champions Hills Academy of Australia and from the USA, the New York Tri-State Youth Development side. And with all the formalities out of the way, it was down to business, a title to be claimed. And Tri-State put Hills Academy in to bat first, and Hamilton Seong set to task to deliver the match's first boundary. Shortly after, he'll be at it again. This one dispatched a bit slower. It misses one fielder, and then a major misfield at the end just added to the cause. On the other end was Bo Goodall, and he too got in on the act, lifting this one, and it just bounces in. But the breakthrough Tri-State needed came. Goodall is bowled by Arav Murthy. He goes for 30. Hills Academy of 71 runs on the board as their first wicket falls. 11 runs will be added before Hills Academy will feel the pressure again. Their other opener, Siong, hits right into the hands of Dinesh Prasad, making the score now 82 for 2. Siong contributing 40 of those runs. More trouble in the camp as Adif Buredi hits out into the deep mid-on region and is leisurely fielded. But the batters decided to go for a second, and Adif Buredi could not get back in time. He's run out for 7. The score moves to 87 for 3. Watch as keeper Shiloh Adams really celebrates. Hills Academy started to collapse from here as wicket number 4 was claimed shortly after. Finn Bailey looking to go all the way, but instead it's into the grasp of Dinesh. New York State can celebrate again, 88 for 4. Starved of fireworks, Josh McDowell came to the crease and looked to breathe life back into his side. Nicely timed and placed, another 4 on the score sheet. With him was John James, and he too caught the boundary fever, driven nicely. 1 bounce in and more valuable runs are gained. James switched ends and again gets the good bat to ball. 1 fielder beaten, and with the speed he dispatched, these other 2 fielders were running in vain. But Jaden Dowling, with the bowling duties now, decided to break up the party. James edges and it goes up, and right under to catch on the way down was Wahab Prabrune. James made 17. Hills Academy had broken the 100 mark and were now 122 for 5. And soon it will be for 6 as Neil Cambarath is bowled by Dowling. The score 124 for 6. The score would change before Josh McDowell got his walking papers. Back to the pavilion, bowled by Dave Mohaber for 19. It's 124 for 7. That brought skipper Thomas McDonald to the crease, and he added 2 successive boundaries. This was the first, and this was the second. But sure enough, another wicket will be claimed. Riley McDowell is given LBW to Dowling. Hills Academy 138 for 8. And they were able to add 19 more runs to that score as they ended their 40 overs on 157 for 8, setting New York Tri-State Youth Development Team 158 to win. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. And in reply, New York Tri-State Development Team reached 158, the target that it was, losing only 5 wickets in getting there. Emmanuel Lewis ended unbeaten on 54. After 2 brain surgeries, Barbados jockey Rico Walcott has launched a comeback at Woodbine Racetrack in Canada. Now, in 2019, Walcott underwent a lengthy surgery for a grade 2 astrocytoma tumor in his left frontal lobe. Now, during that year's racing season, Walcott did ride at both Century Downs and Century Mile, winning 39 races from 157 starts. Now, to 2023, Walcott moved to Woodbine in Toronto. However, that season was short-lived when he broke his collarbone. He was preparing to come back to work at Woodbine in April last year when he was diagnosed with a significantly more advanced tumor than the previous one. Surgeons performed a second successful brain surgery. Now, in April this year, Walcott's neurologist gave him clearance to ride again. Yesterday, he had 3 mounts at Woodbine, including a 3-year-old Forester filly trained by Patrick Dixon for the Colbert Farms. Walcott and the Connections won race 4 aboard Reach for the Top in 1 minute 5.59 seconds in a race that went 1,100 meters.
On their way, and where's Salmon Bailey? Pinged well, going straight to the front. Love You Lippy dashing out, but coming for the lead on the inside is Kitty Speedy Star, and pace being shown by in the centre. Let's Be First, and on the outside, Reach for the Top, and that 4 have got away from Where's Salmon Bailey, Jimmy's Affair, and Master Aragon is last. They're going very fast in front, and on the inside, Kitty Speedy Star, living up to the name with Love You Lippy. They've gone out to lead by 5 lengths. Up the inside, pushing through is Let's Be First behind Reach for the Top, a gap of 4 or 5. Where's Salmon Bailey, Jimmy's Affair, and Master Aragon. Don't Don't know if they can keep this pressure up. 22 flat the first quarter. Love You Lippy narrowly from Kitty Speedy Star coming at them on the outside. Reach for the top. Where's Salmon Bailey's coming on from the back of the field as they come down the stretch and going up on the outside. Reach for the top. Takes the lead with Love You Lippy. They're 3 in front of Where's Salmon Bailey trying to drive after both of them is coming on right down the outside, but leader is Reach for the top. Where's Salmon Bailey chipping away on the outside and coming late. Reach for the top, crying out for the while will get it. Reach for the top, the winner. 3/4 Where's Salmon Bailey. The breakneck speed got Love You Lippy, and then Master Aragon, Jimmy's Affair, Kitty Speedy Star, and back last. Let's Be First. 1:5:59.
And it's very good to see Walcott back. We wish him all the best. The second edition of the Southwest Tennis Open serves off on Sunday at the Tennis Center building. The tournament is expected to run up to August 2nd. And once again, will showcase local and regional players while creating a professional, family-friendly experience.
Right now, we have about 40 players in total. Hopefully, we'll get a round of 32 for the singles and at least 12 teams for the doubles. We have an Instagram page, Southwest Open 246. You can go on the page. It will have all the information you need. It's at the Raymond Ford National Tennis Center. You just come to the front gate, you walk in, and we'll be here at the times allotted for the tournament. You just come in, take a seat, and just come and watch and enjoy the tournament. Since this year, it's become a UTR tournament, so this is a very big step forward for Southwest Open because in terms of the youth, this is a way for them to get points to go college and better themselves in the tennis world.
Now the prizes will be bigger and better than last year, the inaugural year.
The singles winner is going to be getting $2,000 as Barbados dollars. We have our runner-up with $1,200. Third place will be getting $750. Fourth place, $100. And the doubles winners are going to be getting $1,000. We also have prizes for the runner-up of the doubles and back draw winners.
And that's news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.